no way out. I've got to show them what I've become. There's no doubt. Got my back to the wall and I'm still hanging on. There's no way out. I've made my choice, here's where I belong. And there's no doubt. When the road gets tough, I keep my head strong, strong, strong.
Troubles in my life have been all the same, with a strain in my mind, getting hurt again. There's a pain in my heart, but it's just a game. Gotta get over it, won't go insane. Won't achieve anything while I'm down. Don't wanna give out my heavy-weighted frown. I'm stopping this now, I'ma turn it around. Heaven's on the ground, now I'm looking at the clouds. Gonna make a change like a change maker, getting changed. Gonna stay the same, with my mind frame rearranged. Gonna wash the blue out my mind, and my eyes was a blind in my mind. Cause that was old times, cause I'm starting fresh with a clear vision. You can even spell my name in optimism. Subtract the M's, an I and the P, and then what you're left with is me.
There's no way out. I've got to show them what I've become. There's no doubt. From my back to the wall, and I'm still hanging on. There's no way out. I've made my choice, here's where I belong. There's no doubt. When the road gets tough, I keep my head strong.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's very special episode of the ZodWriter Show. I am ZodWriter, and this is the first time I'm doing the ZodWriter Show, the official ZodWriter Show, on YouTube, and I'm super excited to be here tonight. This is a live call-in show, so anybody that would like to actually join in on the broadcast and be here live with me, as opposed to just being in the chat, the link is in the description. I'd like to say hello to the people that we have in the chat here. We have a small group. I want to say hello to Igor. Igor said he already hit the like button for me, and so I appreciate that, Igor. That's great. Ambassadorial Wing is in the house. Hello, Ambassador. Good to see you. He says, hey, Igor. So talking to Igor in the chat. And Jacob says, kneel before Zod. Well, I'm humbled. I'm glad that you guys are all here. I know it's a Tuesday night. There's a lot of streaming options and different things for people to be paying attention to now. So I'm super excited that everybody is here and to do a live ZodWriter Show on YouTube, because ordinarily I would be streaming this on psn-radio.com, and basically it would be like a live radio broadcast, and then uploading it to SoundCloud later on for people to download and stream at their leisure. So it's really exciting to be here tonight in this format. Yo, what's up, ThatOneCarlos? Good to see you as well. And you know what? I'm excited because there was some big news that came out today. We had Zack Snyder releasing a really tantalizing image on social media today. So it's great. It's great. It's great news. And Nicotina Show, welcome to the ZodWriter Show. Nicotina, good to see you. I still we're still working out the details. I definitely would like to get you on the ZodWriter Show at some point. And of course, if you want to join me tonight, you are more than welcome to do so. Let's see here. Ambassadorial Wing, couldn't think anywhere else I'd rather be. Glad to support a friend. I'm glad that you consider me a friend, because I consider you a friend as well. You guys are great, all of you. This is wonderful, and I'm so happy just to be here with you. And so, without further ado, I do have some people in the backstage area, so I would like to get right to it and bring people on, because I'm sure There's a lot of conversation to be had in this 2-hour broadcast. Yes, I will be here for 2 hours. I am running the entire ZodWriter Show format here on YouTube tonight. So without further ado, I want to welcome my good friend to the stream, Mr. Johnny Alpha. Johnny, welcome to the show. How are you, man?
Wait, this is ZodWriter Show, man? I thought I was doing Cyber Love Talk. This isn't Cyber Love Talk.
Oh my God. No, this isn't Cyber Love Talk, my friend. This is the ZodWriter Show on YouTube. This is an absolute first. This is the first, and I don't know how many more of these I plan to do, but on YouTube. But I figured I'd give it a shot and see how this worked out. How are you?
Oh, I'm great, and I think this is going to be a good fit for you. I mean, like, this is a great platform. You have a great group of peers around you, so yeah, man. Like, I think that you made the right jump over to the tube, man. So I can hear you're a little nervous. I haven't ever heard you this nervous before, so that's kind of funny. How you feeling, bro?
Well, you see, this is the thing. I'm trying to get used to this whole StreamYard thing because I've got. I want to start hosting For Nerds episodes. And so I've been doing, I don't know if you've seen, but I did a few episodes. Well, yeah, a couple episodes, I should say, of a news show that I do on weekends. It's a sort of a thing where I interact with the chat on Sunday mornings. It's called ZodWriter Live from the Couch. And I basically just sit here on my couch and interact with the chat and do a live. And so I kind of tried that. And then I figured, in celebration of getting over 100 subscribers this week, I decided I would do an actual ZodWriter show. So yeah, I am kind of a little bit nervous because I feel like, Johnny, you and I, we've been friends for many years now. And, we've gone through our bumps and bruises over at psn-radio.com. And I honestly, I feel like doing this show doing this show on YouTube, even broadcasting the ZodWriter Show from any other platform but PSN Radio, just feels funny to me. I mean, but I will say this, and I will say this as an aside, it's a lot simpler to set up the ZodWriter Show for this platform than it is on PSN, because you have to go through all the struggles with the broadcasting software, and most of the guests can only have difficulty because you can only interact through Skype. You know how it works.
Yeah.
And so I think it kind of limits the audience because you can only do so much on, with an audio only podcast. So it's nice to be here in the flesh, doing it on a television type of atmosphere. So, okay.
Well, I gotta say, man, it's great to see it happening for you, man. Like, I really think it's great that you've stepped up the way you have, and this group of peers that you have, man, like Nerdy in Many Ways and the other folks, just super swell dudes, man. Like, you've really came up, man. So live it, man.
Yeah, man, they are incredible. I mean, the Four Nerds, honestly, the Four Nerds and several others that I've gotten to know through doing the various YouTube things. I can't, when I think of people like the Four Nerds and the Poindexter Lounge and Nicotina and all the various people that I've Ambassadorial Wing, all the various people that I've been dealing with over the last several months and getting to know, I really feel like it's a whole new atmosphere. It's a whole new life, and I definitely appreciate everybody, and I appreciate all the support. And Johnny, I'm glad you could be here for the first ZodWriter Show on YouTube. I honestly can't believe I'm doing this right now. Still, it just feels so surreal to me because it's a completely different element. I mean, it's gonna be interesting because I'm gonna blow people away when we get our good friend the reggae singer, when we get him to join us, and he pulls out his big blunt, and he'll start talking about how his music is all chill and laid back. I don't know. I'm excited for all the various different things we're going to do, because the ZodWriter Show is going to be the same show. It's just on a new platform.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. You seem super energized about this. I haven't heard you this excited. Like, you weren't even this excited on the Four Nerds show that I was lucky enough to join you on. I mean, like, you're lit, bro, and that's cool that you're coming at this from a place of positivity, and you're building yourself, because that's what you got to do. Yeah, we had a really fun time on our old platform, and we learned so many things, but we went as far as we could with it. You know what I mean? And I think that, like, you have something so good right here, right now, man. You got like a great group of people. You got your cause. You got the cut. You know what I mean? And whatever else is going to come out of that, you know what I mean? Like, you guys won. You know what I mean? That's pretty dope. You know, not a lot of people can say that. Look at how the Richard Donner Superman fans, look at how long they had to wait. You guys got it in 3 years. That's winning, man. Like, Charlie Sheen can talk all the shit he wants. You guys are double winning, you Snyder Cutists.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely the Snyder Cut is definitely a huge deal, and the fact that and it's funny, because that's how all of us kind of connected. Me and all of the other people, the Four Nerds. I wouldn't know the other members of the Four Nerds. There would not be a Four Nerds without the Snyder Cut.
Well, it's weird.
I dare say probably the Snyder Cut, and then of course the pandemic that's kept us all in different, kept us all kind of sequestered. So there's all kinds of different factors and things you could point to, but yeah, one common thing that we all share, each and every one of us in that particular group, is our love and passion that was directed through the Snyder Cut. And unfortunately, I never had that Snyder Cut support mechanism when I doing shows on PSN radio. It was very hard for me on PSN radio, basically being the sole Zack Snyder supporter, where everyone else kind of didn't care, was either indifferent to the idea of it coming out, or downplayed it, or didn't understand the passion for it. It was just so hard for me such a tough thing to deal with, because most of the time, like I said, I was alone, so it was hard for me to,
Well, I felt for you. I never thought that it didn't exist. I just never thought WB would give it to you. You know what I mean? And you guys did. You got lucky with AT&T stepping in there and being like, no, you give these kids what they want. And like that was like magical, because like I honestly, I didn't ever dispute the fact that it could have been real. I just never thought they'd give it to you, or they'd make you wait 30 years like the Richard Donner Cut people had to wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that I always thought about it too. I always thought that it was going to be a long haul. It was going to be something we were going to have to fight for much longer than we did. So the fact that we've got it so soon, I think, is a direct result of the fact that HBO Max, being a streaming platform, made that possible, as well as Zack Snyder's willingness to be so open and so supportive. Because let's be honest, if the director himself wasn't involved and wasn't as supportive and wasn't, motivating us and lighting a fire under our butt on a daily basis, we probably would not have gotten the movie. I mean, somebody mentioned to me a little while ago about about Fantastic Four, about Josh Trank's director's cut of Fantastic Four. We were talking about that movie on one of my other live streams that I did, and one of the things that came up was the fact that, well, gee, somebody said we could make a push for the Josh Trank cut of Fantastic Four the same way we did for the Snyder Cut, something along those lines. And I said, well, the problem is Josh Trank has pretty much disowned the Fantastic Four. He's totally cut himself out of that. He has no interest whatsoever in his cut even being released, and he doesn't want anything else to do with it. So that's a stark difference between between Zack Snyder and Josh Trank. If Josh Trank wanted it, all Josh Trank would have to say is, hey, I got a cut of Fantastic Four. I'd love for it to get released. He'd have a whole army behind him, just like Snyder, because everybody that's seen those initial trailers for Fantastic Four was hyped up and thought that he was going to deliver something high quality, and that's just not what happened.
I would say you might be onto something if Fox did not get bought by Disney. I do not think Disney would ever let anything remotely about that film out again. You know what I mean? That's why I don't think we'll ever see the Roger Corman cut now.
I've got the Roger Corman cut right here. It got a pseudo official Blu-ray release when they released that doomed Fantastic Four documentary on the same website that you order that from. This is official, I guess, as officially licensed as it's going to get. It even features a director's commentary.
That's amazing that you had that on hand, just ready to.
I had it on hand just to pull it out and talk about it, because I felt like it was important to the conversation. Not that I knew we were going to have this conversation, but when I think about Fantastic Four and I think about the connection, there are some similarities to the Snyder Cut and Fantastic Four. Both directors got their movie literally taken away from them, so it's a fascinating scenario. And I want to go ahead here and because we've got some other people here in the backstage area. So I want to go ahead and bring them both into the conversation. There's ThatOneCarlos. Hello, Carlos. Welcome.
Hey there. Glad to be here.
Good to see you. And also, I would like to add to the stream, Zeverfett, one of my fellow 4Nerd alumnus. Welcome to the ZodWriter Show, Ryan. It's good to see you as well.
Happy 100K.
Oh yeah. Wrong show. Wrong show. And Johnny. We had him on 4Nerds.
Yeah.
And Johnny, Ryan from the 4Nerds as well. Let me start with you. ThatOneCarlos. How's your night going?
It's good. As you see behind me, I actually just got my parts of my Halloween costume. And it's pretty nice, but the mask is kind of
oh, nice. So you're gonna be Cheetah from Wonder Woman 84?
No. No, yeah, but
I totally was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want
to. No, it's King from Tekken.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing is that around the neck it's too tight, so I think I'm just gonna cut a seam in the back to.
So what you want to do is
fit it over my face.
Add some Velcro or maybe some lace, and cinch it back up. So it doesn't flap in the back.
Yeah.
That's usually what you want to do with latex. It's latex, right? Is it latex or rubber?
I think it's rubber.
It's Playtex.
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 Something like that.
What do you think, Johnny? Is it Playtex? What is it? Let's see if we could figure out the.
I'm saying that I think that it's just a regular rubber, like old style Halloween mask is kind of how it looked to me.
And if you need to, because it came in shipping and it's kind of squished, if you need to reform it, use a hairdryer.
It actually doesn't say what it is.
It says cheetah on the label.
It just says realistic wild leopard mask. So
there you go.
Also, it might as well be, because that's what cheetah is. Realistic leopard lady, So Ryan, I have to ask you, being my fellow 4Nerd, how do you think I'm doing hosting this live stream? How do you think it's going so far?
You're doing pretty good so far. Yeah, I didn't catch the intro. You don't have an intro yet, do you?
Well, yeah, I have an intro,
You do?
but the intro that I used was the same intro that I used for the ZodWriter Show.
Oh,
Since
okay.
this is the ZodWriter Show on YouTube, I basically just took the music that I use, made it into an MP4, played it at the beginning of the show. I don't have the fancy overlays that you and Dawson do, but
It's okay. I mean, I don't want to be telling tales behind the curtain or pulling back the curtain, but yeah, we can get you something set up. So
you should try to get your song remixed too, man. You know, kind of like how like in 21 Jump Street season 4, like it was the same song, but like it was a different tenor and like they kind of sang like different points.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to my musician and see if she can do something for me on that front, because I have had the same theme song since I started doing the ZodWriter Show back in 2012, so it is a little bit dated, but.
Techno lasts forever.
Right. Right.
You know, it's a ZodWriter Show when you hear.
It's not exactly tech. It's not exactly techno, but I mean, I could see where you're going with that, and because it is very distinctive, and when people hear it, they know, and that's what I like about it, because it does kind of stand out in sort of, puts like a big red nose on the show, it's like what. So yeah, it does kind of.
Mine's simple, mine's easy. It's Superman, so I'm like. Hell yeah, that's me.
Well, yeah, like I'm telling you, like, and I gotta say, I mean, that your recent, stuff that you've done, like when you reviewed Under the Red Hood with Matt, and you had, and then you did the Death in the Family that I was supposed to be on. Those were two of your greatest videos. But my all-time favorite video of yours is your Tenet video. Because it was so unique the way you kind of inverted it and did everything backwards. I thought that was so creative and awesome.
We had the idea. We're like, well, Tenet was kind of in reverse, so why don't we try to do this in somewhat reverse, fashion? So, it allowed us to sort of
I wish I could say that I liked that movie, but I just didn't.
I liked it. It didn't have to make 100% sense. But it was an interesting enough concept, and it did keep me entertained throughout. As far as like just finding little things here and there that was like, oh, that's a unique idea, and there were things that I had issues with, of course, But yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I watched it twice.
Would you say that it is Christopher Nolan's best movie?
No.
No,
it's not his best.
No.
Okay, thank God.
The trailer
thank
was
God. I get so frustrated every time a Christopher Nolan movie comes out. Everybody always jumps around and says, "Oh, his best film ever." Oh, another masterpiece from legendary filmmaker Christopher Nolan.
That was hot trash.
Yeah, so that one, Carlos, I'd like to defer to you. How do you feel about Tenet?
I actually haven't seen it because.
Well, you know what? In my opinion, you didn't miss anything. but that's just me, Johnny.
I'm waiting to see it at the library, man. You know me and Nolan. I mean, me and you met during the Holy Nolan Wars. You know what I mean? Fighting the Dark Knight fans. So yeah, I haven't let that go. I did like Interstellar. I thought that was pretty good, except for the middle mission to Mars part. But the beginning and end of that movie were great. And Dunkirk was a one watch. It was fine, but I still do not get the look, man. So yeah, I'm gonna watch Tenet on video. Maybe, I don't know. It just looks like stuff in backwards, and everybody, it's so trippy. And I'm like, I don't know. I watch weird European films that are probably way more trippy than this is, but that's just.
I don't know. On a scale of trippiness, Zever Fett, I have to ask you, what do you think is a more trippy movie? Rian Johnson's Looper or Christopher Nolan's Tenet?
Trippy?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see Looper as trippy at all.
Me neither. Yeah.
I mean, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't trippy. I liked the prosthetics that they did with Joseph. I thought it was interesting to see a Bruce Willis's nose on his face. And yeah, I mean, it was a cool concept, and it was it was kind of like watching Time Cop, but like a modern, different twist of Time Cop or whatever.
Okay.
It was no Back to the Future.
Right. And it didn't really, so it didn't really bend your mind to see, because I've heard somebody had said that Looper bended their mind, and when I watched it, I didn't feel that way either. But I compare it to Tenet because it's kind of like Ryan Johnson's way of trying to actually do something creative, and then he makes The Last Jedi and totally ruins his career. So I'm just
Well, he didn't ruin his career with the movie. He ruined his career with the way he acted after the movie.
Right. And
like total
attacking fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he's just totally the way that like some of these directors are attacking fans, like Kathy Yen or Ava DuVernay, just like uncouth. Where are they coming from? Entitled little bitches. So, they need to kind of take a step back and say, oh, look, Zach's not being a dick. David Ayer's not being a dick. And they got totally fucked over. But they're not being an ass. They're some people say, oh yeah, that movie sucked or whatever.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, but for a second, Ryan, I was keep thinking about that story that Anthony told the other day about how you said you were gonna beat him with soap, beat the shit out of him with soap. I just like
yeah. So the lights were out and we were sleeping on the couches, and it just reminded me of the movie Step Brothers. And and I was like, so it was just quiet, right? And I was like, psst, are you awake? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna take a pillowcase, fill it with a bunch of bars of soap, and beat the shit out of you with it. And he just couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. I wanted after that big sleepover, I actually wanted to start the hashtag on Twitter, Forever14. I know,
because that's how it appeared to me, and I was getting flashbacks to when I was a kid.
Yeah,
watching you guys on that live stream, I was getting flashbacks to when I was so 14 years old with sleepovers like that.
Right. Because when you were young, or when we were young, we used to get together, and we used to make shit. We used to do things. It was something like that. And it was that same sort of feeling or whatever when we were over there. And yes, we did wear pajamas. The kind you zip up, the onesies. Fantastic.
Wow.
Dawson had the ones with the two buttons on the back, the flap. So.
Oh my God! I'm surprised you weren't messing with Dawson the whole night. I mean,
no, you know what?
I mean, Anthony's kind of the last guy I would threaten to beat on.
Anthony was just more fun to play with. Because I did not realize how tall he was. I was like, holy shit, I'm the runt. And I'm 5'10", right? So I'm like,
I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10" as well. So we're in the same boat. So
I feel like,
if I was there, it would have just been the two runts versus the super giants.
So yeah. So Anthony was just super tall, and of course Dawson, he hit his head on the ceiling. It was so funny. It was a low ceiling, and he wasn't paying attention. He just ran right into it. And then Enosh has this one door that's like low. We didn't go through the threshold though. I was like, he would definitely just knocked himself out with that one. But yeah, he was talking about like, even in the planes, he had to duck. Dawson's just super tall. Is
he really?
He's like 6'4", 6'5".
He's like a basketball star.
Yeah. I mean, he would be the center. He would be the center.
Damn.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know.
I only saw him on that one show I was on with you guys, and he didn't. But he looked lanky, but
he's so far away from the camera. He looks like a little kid, but like in person, he's just like towers over you. So funny.
Damn, that's cool. Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah. So Carlos, have you Did you grow up having sleepovers like the one that we witnessed on the weekend?
To be honest, no. I guess I had like a pretty cloistered upbringing. Like I'm 19, so
okay.
like it's 14 years old is closer to me. But even then, I just know like it's pretty dangerous. I live in like the tri-state, like New York City area.
Oh wow.
So my mom really never trusted anybody. So
Yeah. Well, back when we were young, our parents left the door unlocked. You could be out till the street lights come on. Today, you can't really do that as much. I have, my daughter rides her bike around outside, and we're like, you can only go from here to here, and that's it. And we're constantly going out and just making sure nobody's snatched or like taken. But yeah, no, it's a completely different paradigm from just the different generations that come after each other. It's just, I mean, it's not like these things didn't happen when we were kids, but the information highway wasn't around, so there wasn't a lot of information that everybody could share and say, hey, watch out for these types of people, don't go near these white vans, all this other stuff or whatever. And it just was undocumented. All you had was like the milk carton kids and then the missing kids, posters around, like at the supermarkets or what, the grocery stores. And that was it. So, it was sort of peace of mind because it was, just ignorance was bliss.
Yeah. The internet has kind of ruined life as we know it in a lot of ways, as well
also
as
overpopulation.
Yeah.
the more people that are created, and the more people that don't take care of those created people properly, the more problems that you're going to have, because there wasn't anyone steering the ship, and there's too many ships that got steered in the wrong direction. So we've got a lot of Titanics out there that we don't even, that we didn't plan for. So
wise words, I have to say. Great take, Ryan. So I want to ask everybody here on the panel with me today, how'd you feel about the post that Zack Snyder put out on social media today? We'll start with you, Carlos.
Now we're talking about the
slate.
The slate, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I very excited to see that. I've been like for the last few days, I've been seeing people just post over and over, like they keep on refreshing Zach's Vero and just being very intense about that. So I was always wondering, what are we trying to expect? And then I heard Green Lantern things, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to believe that, but I don't know. I don't think we're going to get an announcement for that anytime soon. But I was really happy to see the slate, and I'm really happy that additional photography seems to be going very well for them.
I'm so sick and tired of this Green Lantern talk. I wish it would go away. Either put up or shut up with the Green Lantern. Like I feel like there's going to be so many people butthurt when it's finally revealed what the truth is surrounding Green Lantern.
I can understand where you're coming from. When I spoke with Wonder Meg last weekend, I actually got to talk to her for a little bit, and she said that's the one of the questions that Zach said that he would not answer, when at JusticeCon. And to be honest with you, it's one of the best kept secrets that they have. So I can understand, it would give people time to acclimate and be okay with it and assimilate and be like, I'm okay with this person being Green Lantern in his series or in his shows. I think that would help. But then again, it's also like, hey, this is his thing. If he doesn't want to let people know, then he doesn't want to let people know. And we can't really do anything other than just sit on our hands about it. So.
And Johnny, what do you think? Do you think Ryan Reynolds is coming back for Green Lantern? Yeah.
I thought I read that Zach wanted Mark Wahlberg to play him anyways.
I just came from Moa and I got my ring.
I don't really care too much about the Lantern, you know what I mean? And to tell you the truth, I would be more interested if like they started talking about like him bringing in characters like the Red Tornado. You know me. I like smaller characters. They said that he's going to be.
Oh yeah,
your favorite
show, your favorite DC property right now is Doom Patrol, right?
Yeah, that's my jam. I love the DP, and it's probably my favorite comic book too. I really, really loving Gerard Way's run over at Young Animal. It's so much fun. Nick Darrington's art's beautiful. It's almost as good as Grant's run. I mean, oh yeah, dude, Doom Patrol is so good. So if Zach wants to bring them over, I would be glad as hell to see Brendan Fraser running around as Cliff Steele, kind of talking crap to Batfleck. I mean, that would be funny. You know what I mean? Yo, man, I knew you were tough, but I mean, what's with that jaw? That's big. I could hear Brendan Fraser saying that to him, and that'd be fun. They did just appear because it's supposed to turn into a show after they do the 2 Justice League movies, right? Isn't that what you kind of told me, Zod?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I'm at this point. Okay. I'm confused. I know we're getting Justice League in the form of a series, like a mini series, but I'm not sure what's going to happen beyond that. I mean, there's been so much speculation and nonsense that's been released about it. Nobody knows because nothing has really been confirmed. Dr. Fate, Zod, in your opinion, is the coronavirus getting worse? I don't know, Dr. Fate, but I just hope that it goes away soon because it's definitely made 2020 a very trying year to live through. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. And Dr. Fate says, so Sean O'Connell is trolling. I don't know about Sean O'Connell either. What do you guys think? Is Sean O'Connell trolling?
I don't know. Is that a leprechaun or something? I've never heard of him. Does he look?
He's the guy. He's the guy writing the book. Yeah, he's the guy writing the book on the Snyder Cut.
He also works for or is a part of Cinema Blend.
Yeah, Cinema
Blend. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he can go fart blood. Then that site sucks. I hate their videos. Like, who cares?
Well, yeah, if nothing else, Johnny, what I love about you and what I've always loved about you is we always get honesty from you, man. You always tell us exactly how you feel, so it's perfect. Sickness, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro.
Sickness in the house.
Yes.
Got Truth.
Yes.
You got Ray. You got
Truth as well.
Igor,
what's up,
Brian?
Truth? Good to see you, man. Igor, yeah, we got a packed house.
Oh yeah, you got a packed house today, man. You made some waves on the internet.
I feel, yeah, I feel. I was telling Johnny at the beginning of the show. I feel very, 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 very humbled by all of this awesome support. I just love. It's like it just feels so much different to be, dipping my toe in the whole YouTube water thing. It's just like it feels completely different doing the ZodWriter Show on a different platform. It's just really weird. Like I'm still because I'm so used to all of the different struggles and hoops I have to go through when I go and I do it on PSN radio. I have to go through this broadcasting software and do everything through Skype, and it's just complicated and it basically alienates about 50% of the people I want to have on the show, because as soon as I tell somebody, oh, at the end of it, they're all happy to do it. They're like, oh yeah, great, I'll do it. Like I got in touch with Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger, to be on the ZodWriter Show, to be a guest on the ZodWriter Show, and this is a story I haven't told to a lot of people, but we had nailed it down to a date. We had gotten down to where it was supposed to be. It was supposed to happen sometime in August of last year. And one of the problems was Skype. I had said, could you get on Skype? I would need you to get on Skype to be able to do the broadcast. And he had some issues with it. He said he'd never been very good with Skype and wanted to know if we could do it some other way.
Yeah. Well, now you have a different way.
And so, so now I have a different way. So hopefully I can go back to some of the people, including Robert Englund, who was unable to do it via Skype, and get them on here. I think it would be
Get Uwe Boll back, man. Like he is
you
your
know,
greatest guest ever.
he was fun, and but I don't know. He's he seems to
Crazy. Yeah.
get himself banned from a lot of social media
Yeah.
platforms. So I'm not sure if he'd want to come on this show, but maybe he would, because for a while he did YouTube. So I don't know. What do you think, Ryan? You think I should get Uwe Boll back on the ZodWriter Show?
Oh yeah, I mean, if that was can you tell how many people watches your episodes or whatever, or listens to your episodes rather? Does it keep track? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if the numbers warrant it, then man, go for it. Just do like maybe a month of like your most requested guests. People who want you to have them back on the show, and there's your.
I definitely want to do a greatest hits album, and Johnny and I had we did a few shows where I had this worldwide known reggae singer named Leja. And when he comes on the show, he's the most laid back dude you'll ever want to see. He has this. He came on the show one time and he was on Skype and he had his video turned on and he had the biggest blunt I've ever seen in my life. And he was just, and I says to Johnny, I'm like, we could totally understand why this guy's so laid back.
He was smoking so much he made me look like a lightweight, man. Like I couldn't believe it. He was just going to town, and he loved his producer too, De Niro. He kept yelling out De Niro. Yeah,
he kept yelling De Niro. And the funniest thing about him was the fact that he talked about, when I asked him what his creative process is when it comes to making music, he writes all his music and does all his music from his phone.
Okay.
I don't even know how that's possible. I'm just like, wow, that's incredible. I mean, the guy's got like multiple albums. He's popular all around the world with his he's won all kinds of awards, reggae awards and stuff.
Yeah,
he does it. And he makes it all, does it all from his phone. I don't know. Yeah. Everybody's got a hustle, man, and I just think that's brilliant.
It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about refining the wheel. And if you're good at something, to just kind of hone in your powers or abilities towards that, and really showcase it.
Wow, Igor! What an announcement! What an announcement that is! That is awesome. I'll be the first to subscribe, man.
There you go.
Definitely, man.
Coming soon.
Your support is invaluable. I look forward to that. Wow, fantastic, man. I love this. I love seeing so many people branch out and launch their own channels, launch their own stuff, do their own thing. Carlos, you look like a guy that would be comfortable doing videos where you just like unbox stuff. Like I could see you being one of those guys where you just like unbox like special edition Blu-rays or video games or whatever, and you just unbox the stuff and like show it. I could just see you totally doing that. Is that something you actually do, or?
Unboxing is not really my thing. I am a spender. I'm not a saver whatsoever. But I don't necessarily do that. But I actually do have my own YouTube channel and Twitch stream, which I do. I did contribute to like up until DC Fandom. Okay. And then after that, school started. So then like I got a little I kind of procrastinated with that. I do want to get back into it, but I have 3 episodes. And my favorite thing to do is to definitely talk about, comic movies and film and stuff like that. And also like bring my own ideas to it and my own changes that I would like to see in it to make it at least, more appealing in my opinion.
Excellent. Nice.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what we need, man. Like there is no actual commentators in ComicsTube, and that's kind of a problem. And that's kind of a young man's game. You step into that, you kind of start doing like those commentary type videos, but about nerd shit. man, you could be lit, man. You could really take off doing that because nobody has that market yet. That marketplace is just open.
Yeah, so I did 3 streams already, and I talked to the first stream was about Avengers Endgame and Infinity War and the flaws I saw in them, because they're groundbreaking movies, but I think they're at least Endgame specifically is flawed in many places where it could potentially be fixed. I talked about that in the first stream that went on for like an hour and a half. Each stream is about an hour and a half long. The next one was it was a tier list of power between like all the characters in the MCU and the DCEU. And then the third episode was about a custom movie script, kind of like of what I would like to see if Funimation and Toei, the people surrounding Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, the creators of those, if they collaborated with DC Animation to make a Goku versus Superman movie. And I was saying how we know Goku is like super OP. He's on the level of the deities in his universe and his story. So like, how do we get Superman from his the animated side to be on that level, to be on par with that? So I came up with the idea of Blue Lantern Superman, who is the last hope of his universe, and while fighting the Anti-Monitor, he literally breaks the fabric of reality and jumps into the Dragon Ball universe. So
sounds awesome. Okay,
yeah, that's interesting.
And I just want to give a big shout out to my good friend Mr. West Ashley in the chat. Welcome to the ZodWriter Show, Pilly. It's good to see you, man. It's great that you're here. # go deep. Yep. And we also have to give a shout out to our good friend over at our good fellow Four Nerds dude here, nerdy in many ways. He just passed 100,000 views on YouTube.
100,000 views?
Yeah, he says 100,000 viees. That is huge.
That's
that
crazy.
Is huge. And I, honestly, man, that he is going onward and upward.
Yeah.
Like there is no ceiling for our good friend Dawson. I will tell you that. I mean, he's just
holy crap. Let me retweet that real quick.
Yeah,
that's cool. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I had to announce that and Nerdy was gonna join us today, but he said he has fan stuff going on.
He's probably got
stuff
like a
going
signing
on.
or something. He's probably doing a book signing.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's doing a book signing and he just doesn't want to hurt my feelings. I don't know. I know he's so big now. I just hope he doesn't get as big as Sil Abdul and leave the Four Nerds.
He got as big as hitting Enosh's ceiling. That's how big he got.
I'm just.
But he has not hit the ceiling in YouTube. He's going to be up there with like PewDiePie before long.
Yeah.
And also, what's up, Amshru? What's up, Rel?
Yes, Rel. Good to see you, Rel. Nerdy
Ray
is on fire. Ray.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's so great. It's so great that you're in here, Pilly, man. I know, man. I'm always thinking about going deep. Always.
Got Pilly Herman in the house.
Oh, that was hilarious. Did you see that?
Yeah,
post?
I saw that. That was on Fatal Show.
Yeah. Fatal J. He's another one. Fatal J is another one. He's just really. It's great to see. It's great when you see more and more of these great YouTubers coming together and building a coalition of awesomeness. It's just so exciting, man. It's so exciting to be a part of it all. And we're going to welcome somebody else to join our panel here tonight. We're going to add the ambassador to the stream. Welcome to the ZodWriter Show. Yes, it's another alternate version of Nerdy in Many Ways with the Nimwa hat.
Man, so you watched one of his
Nimwa
videos
hat.
100,000 times?
Say one more time, Ryan.
I'm sorry. So you watched one of Dawson's videos 100,000 times? So
Something like that, sure. No, I promised to Zod up here and everything. I would make an appearance, and I do my best to keep my promises.
Well, it's
There you
great.
go.
It's great to have you here, man. It's always a
Thank
pleasure
you.
to be around Ambassador Kosh. I mean, it's some good stuff. So, what's your what are your feelings about the Zack Snyder Slate post that he put out today on social media?
I was intrigued. I won't lie. Not entirely sure what it means. I'm seeing they've started shooting. They're wrapping. It depends. So, but yeah, honestly, I'm as y'all were talking earlier. I came in kind of late, as I often do. I think to the whole Snyder Cut thing. I mean, I didn't have a dog in this fight, but obviously I did support the people who wanted this film. And, I am a comic book geek, have been since the 1980s. So the whole advent of comic book movies, which really kicked off with the X-Men films, the Bryan Singer ones back in the late 90s going into 2000s, really were the impetus for comic book movies to be the big thing that they are now. And to see so much passion from a fan base for a film was really endearing, and really I deeply appreciated it. I wish there were other fan movements like this that were as positive. I mean,
Yeah, that's a good point. And not to cut you off there, Ambassador, but we have to welcome somebody else to the stream right now. A very, very good friend of mine, one of the best people that I've met throughout this whole endeavor and this entire thing that we've got going on right now. Andre from the Nicotina Show. Welcome to the ZodWriter Show. This is the first time I've ever had Nicotina on the ZodWriter Show, so I'm excited.
This looks cool. I like it.
We've been trying to work. We've been trying to work that out. Yes.
It's like
The
I'm on the dark
ZodWriter Show
web.
tends to be a little bit dark.
The dark side.
the dark web.
The dark web.
The dark web.
So icky.
So Andre, I have to ask you, man, what are your feelings about the slate that Zack Snyder posted today on social media?
I think he's going to use that when he films his additional photography, which he's doing probably this week.
But what's the issue? What's the controversy with the title of the movie? The controversy being that this is now Justice League, Zack Snyder's director's cut.
I don't know. I mean, I saw that too in the corner when it said that. I mean, I think that honestly, I don't know what the hell the name's going to be. Whatever it's going to be. I mean, look, do I want it to be Zack Snyder Justice League? Yes, I do. But if the name is called Ryan Zieverfett's Justice League and it's directed by Zack Snyder, I'm going to watch it every single day. I'm going to buy the shirts. I'm going to buy the hats. At the end of the day, I just want to see.
I better get started on
That's
that.
all I want to see. What's up, Ray Ray? But that's all I want to see.
And we do once again need to give the shout out to our good friend, Nerdy in Many Ways, aka Dawson Weedrick, for his 100,000 views. Actually,
that's
on
1
YouTube.
million.
That's a million.
That's a million views.
Oh my god! I'm such an idiot.
Have you
Oh
taken
my
off
god!
one of the zeros?
I missed a couple of zeros there when I saw the post. I'm like, oh my god! I screwed up. I'm a horrible manager. I apologize, Nerdy. Wow.
You're literally going to sell to tens of millions.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna start hemorrhaging viewers now. Look at all those zeros. Okay, maybe
We're losing viewers.
We're losing viewers. Let's have a look at your checkbook. I want to make sure you got it balanced.
Let's be honest here. This is, but see, so this is even bigger than.
It's way bigger. Yeah, I didn't even.
That's a million.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Futile Zod.
Futile Zod. I agree with you. I agree with you. Hey, listen. When I'm wrong and I make a mistake, I got no problem taking an L.
I like how Igor has that whole that hashtag like cornered now. Like he could drop it on anybody. It's like
right. I got nothing to say here. I was completely wrong, but you know what? Once again, congratulations to Dawson. Nonetheless, that's beautiful. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, we are in the presence of like I guess at some point we're going to have to call Dawson like YouTube royalty because, like you said, he's.
I mean, it's like a too carried away here, but yes, it is. It's going to be beautiful.
It's be Dawson and the three nerds.
No, it's going to be.
I mean,
it's going to be. Go ahead.
He pours a lot into his stuff, though, man. I mean, I was watching his stuff today. His production value is out the window, man. It's incredible, at least for a comic tuber. I mean, like he's playing on a pro level. So, I mean, he's earned it, in my opinion, a little bit, at least.
Oh yeah,
at least from what I watched today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a gentleman. I'm a bit of an idiot, but I'm a gentleman. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Zod.
Yes.
Many things, but it's one of them.
Well, that was nice of you.
Yeah,
they got all quiet.
Just trying to be.
You cut off a little bit, but I was
nice to you. Everyone's all quiet about it. Like
I said, you're many things, but
that awkward silence.
One of them.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't try to be an idiot, but sometimes I can't help it. So you guys, okay. So now that we've answered that question about me being an idiot, Andre, I have to ask you now, what is your whole take on all of this Green Lantern nonsense? Do you? I mean, honestly,
Andre, you're going right for all the juicy material right now. I swear.
I mean, there's so much of it though. It's like every time you turn around, there's something about being posted about the Green Lantern, and Grace Randolph isn't helping the situation, and you have all sorts of scoopers putting out. All sorts of different takes on the same information. And this is why I don't envy anybody out there who's a scooper.
Or a scooper, or...
delivering any that type of information.
Confirmation specialist, anything.
Right, anything like that. Yeah.
Confirmation specialist.
especially if you gotta have a cup of coffee whenever you talk about anything. But that's beside the point. I just think that. How tall
are you, Andre?
Yeah. I want to know.
Stand up.
My Buzz Lightyear shirt on.
Okay.
It glows in the dark too.
Ryan and I were talking about that earlier. I'm 5'10". Ryan is 5'10". We're the same height. So we would be the shorties among giants hanging out.
Somebody who's under 5 foot.
I'm shorter than you guys are.
I figured that.
I'm 5'7", 5'8". Yeah.
5'7". Okay.
Oh wow.
I'm a fairly average height, I would imagine.
So when we all get together again, we won't be the short.
What?
Ryan, the good thing is when we all get together, you're not going to be the shortest.
Yes, I know. We need you, Nicotina.
We need to make sure at the next.
I'm tall where it counts. All right.
Nerds convention.
If you're short, you're welcome.
Well, unfortunately, if
what, it's past your bedtime?
Go ahead, Nicotina. It's
That's all I got.
Dang, I feel like I'm Gulliver amongst the Lilliputians.
Okay, so here's the thing. Green Lantern, look, do I want there to be Green Lantern in Zack Snyder's Justice League? Yes, I do. But the thing is, look, is it going to be Ryan Reynolds? Probably not. I don't see how it could be. But if it
probably not.
I mean, I would say it is not. However, if it is, then It is. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, I'm not in control of who makes the movie. Do I want him in the movie? No, because when I see him, I think of
that's the best.
Deadpool.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. Not whether or not we think he'll be in the movie. Do we want him in the movie? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, like go off, make your Deadpool.
I'm kind of indifferent at this point, although I do believe that it is going to be Sam Benjamin, and I think it's going to be great when Sam Benjamin is revealed as Green Lantern, and Zach basically gives the finger to all the people that are that have been wrong and have been saying Reynolds all this time. Thank you for stopping by, Nicotina. I appreciate it. I love the fact that you were able to join. And if I'm still awake tonight, man, I'll definitely be tuning into
any of you guys.
show.
If any of you guys are still awake tonight, I'll be on tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific time. But yeah, I have to run inside because I have to give my kids a bath and put them to bed and all that jargon.
All right, man.
I wanted to stop by and say what's up to everybody, and I hadn't been here yet. And the way you have things decorated, I really like it.
It's dark. It's dark in here. Yes.
There's sickness right there. Sickness.
Yes.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
See you later.
All right, man. Later.
That was great. That's always nice to talk with Nicotina. And Sickness says, I had a little exchange with Garza this morning. It was interesting. Care to elaborate on that a little bit and tell us what that exchange was about? Because if it was about Green Lantern, I'm sure it really was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean because that dude is a bit of a one-trick pony when it comes to Green Lantern. So yeah. Cheers, Nicotina. Yes, absolutely. Great guy.
Yeah.
Subscribe
to the Nicotina channel if you haven't already.
Yes, definitely. So. I consider Nicotina to be, when I look at that guy, it's like he's salt of the earth because he's so kind and giving.
Yeah, he's pretty salty.
Yeah, thankfully, he won't tell you to take everything with a grain of salt like another YouTuber that we all loathe and detest.
Well, there's a lot of those, though. There's people out there, Ambassador, that thrive on negativity, and thankfully, those of us on this panel and have that participate together are not in that camp. Ryan, how does it feel to be part of such a positive force on social media and YouTube?
Yeah, no, I feel it's great. Just meeting everybody, in person or just on a stream like this and having that positive vibe. We're all just fans talking about things. It's all lighthearted and we can joke with each other and nobody really gets their feelings hurt or anything like that. At the end of the day, everybody's cool with everybody pretty much, and the support that everybody gives is monumental. So awesome. I really like being a part of this community, this sort of, the movement that, the Snyder Cut has facilitated. So it's really awesome. So, and I don't see where this would ever, I don't want to say ever, but I don't see this ending anytime soon.
No. And as I was telling Johnny Alpha earlier, I don't know how we would have all gotten together had it not been for that movement. I don't know how I would know any of you, like in that regard. Like, we all come from so many different walks of life that it's like it always takes like lightning in the bottle to like bring so many people together.
Yeah, and like this, the show, the 4-hour miniseries that we're gonna get wouldn't happen had we not had an avenue, which is the internet, which is hashtagging, which unfortunately you can attribute to Twitter. So yeah, just having that sort of outlet and being able to meet other people who aren't in your circle, who actually share the same likes that you're into, the same type of fandom. is really cool. You don't have to wait to go to a convention or anything like that.
And just to piggyback off of that, what you just said, I never would have known that there was another dude out there who felt the way I did about Star Wars as a whole. Like when I met you, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I feel so happy because at least I feel the same way you do when it comes to those Star Wars sequels. So I'm just like, so that was something that I was amazed by as well.
And it's kind of the same thing, but also alternatively, Enosh. Listening to me,
he's on the opposite side.
Right, he's on the opposite side, but he listens to, or he gets upset because he still listens to Doomcock and Mike Zero. But here's but then you have and also Jeremy and also those other people. And so I offer something that they don't. They just trash on it. They don't give you reasons why. They don't give you things that could make it better. They don't give you any, I go into it and I say, I have a problem and these are my issues, but if these issues were addressed, it would have been something cohesive. It would have been something better. They should have taken their time. They should have, not been so such in a hurry to get that trilogy over with, to move forward past it. They should have actually, focused on it, loved it, cared for it, and given the community something better. But they didn't. So, but I have legitimate gripes. And that was the same thing with when I was over at Enosh's house. I actually got to talk to him. Mics weren't canceling us out, and I was speaking with him. I was speaking with his family. I was speaking with his friends. I was speaking with Dawson, who also loves it. I was speaking with Anthony, who also loves it. They all understand where I'm coming from, and we're all and I can completely respect that they like the sequel trilogy. That's fine. They find things that are cool with it. There are things that I like about the sequel trilogy. BB-8 and some of the other things that they introduced. But he's my favorite. There he is. But yeah, I mean, I just the big problem that I had was story. And
how do you feel about Rogue One? How do you feel about Rogue One?
I like the shore troopers. I like the tall 7-foot or 6-foot troopers. I forgot what they're called, the black ones.
Death troopers
that speak a different death troopers that speak a different language or lingo or whatever. I thought that was cool. I like aspects of it. I like that planet that they went to that wasn't Tatooine. I like when you explore things and it looks kind of, it looks dated, it looks dirty, grungy, and that's the Star Wars I like, a lived-in universe that, has a sort of an edge to it. It's supposed to be kind of like the Mandalorian show. It's supposed to be an action adventure with some sci-fi elements to it and kind of like a Western, space Western. And that's kind of what you don't get with little bit you don't get with the prequels, but you definitely don't get it with the sequel trilogy. And then of course, I don't like that. I love Ian McDiarmid, but I didn't like that they brought him back because he didn't fit. If they had planted seeds throughout the whole trilogy of Ian coming back, or of a younger actor portraying Ian's role, that would have been better. It would have been more cohesive. It would have, we don't have to see, what's his name, Snoke in a jar. They're manufacturing another Snoke. That's why I believe that the baby, the infant, or the orphan, or whatever they're calling him now, the little baby Yoda. I think that he is supposed to be a carrier because he's Force sensitive, a carrier for Palpatine to inhabit. He's not. I don't think he's in him yet, but I think that's the purpose of him. To be in another. Kind of like Snoke, kind of like the Baby Yoda thing. Just a host for Palpatine to reside, so that he can, because those things last a long time. If we're thinking that Yoda, dying at 900 or 800, between 800 and 900 years old, if he feels like that's a body that can sustain for that long, if that's the right years, if everyone is going by the same, years, just like Wookiees. I don't know if that's like dog years or if that's, regular years or whatever. But I mean, if that's what it is, then that's the purpose of them. So I don't know. I like Rogue One. I loved the end when they used restock footage of the pilots, and then the sequence with Vader, which was all kind of added. It wasn't actually supposed to be in the movie. I like Tarkin. I like the CG Tarkin. You know, people are like, "Oh, that's fake. It's so fake." Shut the hell up! The whole fucking thing is fake. It's a Star Wars movie. It's all fake. And the actor's dead.
Amen.
I thought it was fine that I forget the guy's name, but he's from ILM and he worked on the prequels. He's still there. And I can't remember his name right now.
John
The guy with the goatee. Yes, John Knoll. He worked on him, and they got the guy from Harry Potter to, you know, sort of stand his place, and he sounded like Tarkin. And I dug it. I was like, this is fine. I'm fine with it. I was fine with seeing a CG Leia. Carrie Fisher was fine with seeing a CG Leia. She thought it was cool. She thought it was fine. She loved it. She was like, oh, I didn't have to act. You know, it was neat to see her character, in the movie. And I was like, that's cool. Same thing with Rise of Skywalker. I didn't mind seeing a CG Leia again. Same thing with seeing, I would have loved to have seen Sebastian Stan.
It was the swamp full of Star Destroyers that you have no idea where any of them came from. Were they built in the swamp? You don't know. All of a sudden, they just popped the fuck into the swamp.
The Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
that was
Lord,
the worst.
No. That, I mean,
like, who built all those Star Destroyers in the swamp?
And how the hell did they park them so neatly?
Yeah,
it's
like
Good question.
I got a swamp full of Star
Single
Destroyers.
file.
Don't ask me any questions about how I got him, though. Like, I just got him. A whole swamp.
It was, and the way that they handled the pacing, which Enosh said he liked the pacing, like you couldn't stop and breathe. When we were watching The Empire Strikes Back together, and I was sitting with Dawson and Anthony and Wondermeg, I leaned over to Dawson. I said, look, while they were on Dagobah, there was a chance to breathe. Or no, on Hoth, when Luke and Han were out in the cold, there was a chance to breathe, a chance to add some weight to the scene. Some like, are they going to survive? They are, but are they going to survive? There's a little bit of tension. You see the characters kind of interacting and like, oh man, you don't see any of that in the sequel trilogy. The best thing is you have as far as character development or character interaction is Poe and Finn in the TIE Fighter at the beginning. And that's it.
Agreed. Yeah,
pretty much.
You solid points, and I gotta agree. With pretty much everything you said. Out of all of the ones that Disney's put out, I'd have to say that Rogue One's the most watchable. It's definitely the most enjoyable.
I like Solo. I wished, for me, my personal taste. I wish that they had gotten the other kid that portrayed Harrison as a young Harrison in another movie. I forgot what it was, but he does this like
Age of Adeline.
Yes, that kid. I don't know if he has the acting chops, but neither did any of the crew back in 1977. But I think he would have suspended my disbelief a little bit better than the other guy, the guy that played Solo. I was okay with yes, Alden Ehrenreich. I was okay with that. I like the interaction. I like that they treated the Wookiee Chewbacca like the Beast, kind of like a Rancor. He was just down there, and they just they tormented captives with the Wookiee. Was going to tear his arms out or whatever. I thought that was a cool interaction. Do I think that the whole movie was fantastic? I wanted to see. I wish I could have seen a ground up Ron Howard Solo.
Yeah,
that would have been better. He, because he directed a lot of films, but he directed Willow, which is also Lucasfilm property, and he did fantastic with that. So I wish that they would have just stopped everything in its tracks, said, you know what, we're gonna either go ahead with those two idiots and that did the 21 Jump Street and give us that movie and see if it's worth anything, or scrap the whole thing. You're throwing a whole bunch of money away, but scrap the whole thing.
Start over. Like almost like a Justice League situation. Start over, make a different movie, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Disney Star Wars turned out that way. But on a positive Star Wars note, we have The Mandalorian premiering season 2 this Friday. How does everyone on the panel feel about that? Starting with you, Carlos, how do you feel about The Mandalorian coming back?
Oh, I'm very, very excited. I did like the previous season. I do like the the serialized episodic format. Every single episode is kind of one enclosed story. It does lead to some kind of points where it's just like, okay, there was no growth in this episode whatsoever between any of the characters. But I guess the Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal's character, he is kind of an immovable character. He has this one code that he's bound to, and that is the way and whatnot. But yeah, I did like all the supporting cast. The finale, I believe, was great, and I can't wait to see more of Moff Gideon, Giancarlo Esposito's character, and Gina Carano, and the whole crew. It's really they did really do got all the stops with the cast.
Yeah, it's hard not to be excited for it. Johnny, what are your feelings on The Mandalorian?
Oh man, like as far as Star Wars goes, aside from the comic book by Marvel, Dr. Aphra, it's probably the best thing that's come out of the Star Wars universe in a very long time. Like Z was talking about earlier, it is a return to the old cowboy samurai type films. That all the allusions to Lone Wolf and Cub in the first 2 episodes were just so great. As like a Japanese film fan myself, I really loved that. So I'm really looking forward to Mandalorian. And as far as Star Wars goes, it's pretty much the only thing you should be keeping your eye on at the moment, in my opinion.
Okay, and Ambassador, what about you in The Mandalorian?
Well, as far as The Mandalorian and me go, I was on the fence about it because I was still kind of in that headspace about, do I really want to give Disney any more money? But the missus set up an account for Disney Plus, and I finally binged the entire first season. And I did skip the 6th episode because everybody said it was kind of a crap show. But
Which one is that? Is
from
that the prison?
Yeah, that's the prison episode, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's awesome. You guys did an episode?
It was one of those. It was one of those episodes. It was kind of like you could skip it and not worry because it was an okay episode, but it had really, like Carlos was saying, had nothing to do with anything else. It was just sort of like a filler episode.
I like Clancy Brown in it. I'm just a huge Clancy Brown fan. So to see him as the big devil guy, that was awesome.
Yeah, and that's all fair. But honestly, I binged the whole first season, and I'm like, this is the way. I mean, I've got a Mandalorian crest head in my closet and everything, and I'm ready for season 2. I'm ready to see what they bring us. I will say, I have a different theory about the child. I don't think he's a vessel for the spirit of Palpatine or anything. But I will say this. He's playing everybody. That character is he's kind. I don't think he is necessarily a malevolent character, but I think he's playing everybody kind of the same way that Yoda played Luke in Empire.
He's older than people
as far
think
as the
he
rest
is,
of the cast,
basically, right? You think he's older than he says he is, basically?
I think he's older. And I think there's more to him than he's letting on. So I'll be interested to see what they do with him.
The guy from that had the Kaminian patch on him, because he was in charge of the cloning. He knows exactly what this thing is, and he's the one that sought after it. And that was his prize. The prize. That was something that they engineered, so he knows about this child. And the reason why I say that is because the one tooth, the freaking, I don't know what it was. It was the rhino. He tried to kill that.
The Mudhorn. Was that?
Yeah, Mudhorn. There you go.
Okay.
He tried to kill that, and then he also tried to kill Gina Carano because he thought that she was getting one over on the Mando or whatever. So I mean, you kind of see that sort of darkness in him.
Yeah.
So he's got that. I don't think he's older than what they say he is, because he never said how old he is. This is coming from the Empire.
Yeah, didn't they estimate he was about 50 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here, Zeev, here's the thing. The force powers that the child has displayed, I would consider neutral. I would not consider them neither light nor dark, because here's the truth. Your Star Wars lore as well as I do. Force choke is not inherently a dark side ability. Just about any Force wielder can
It's
use
the
it.
intent.
It precisely, and I don't think he was necessarily. I don't think the child was trying to kill Kara. I think he might have been trying to incapacitate her, but I did not get the impression that he was trying to kill, because
The
any
frown
action
on
that
his
he is.
brow, the expression on his face.
That was
tells me
cute.
something.
That was a cute expression of like,
Yeah.
like when you see like
Well, but here's the thing.
frown. It's kind of like the
Yeah, no,
Care
I mean,
Bears.
Here's the thing. A
It's
frown-
great animation. I'll give you that. The whoever is in charge of animating this character is doing a spot on job.
Yeah, I will agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, for heaven's sakes, Madame Ambassador, we finally got her the $25 child doll the other day, a couple weeks ago. And I think she's thrilled all to death, and I'm happy for her. So, but as far as the rest of the cast with Gian Carano and Carl Weathers and Pedro Pascal and I can't remember Carlos Exposito, is that the guy who played Moff Gideon?
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito.
I think they all did a great job, and I am very hopeful for season 2. I know some people have been concerned with all the possible cameos coming up, with like Ahsoka making an appearance and Boba Fett making an appearance and Michael Biehn being in there as a side character. But honestly, I don't look at these and go, oh, crap, they're going to get all these cameos are going to override the main cast. We have seen that they can carry off a good story and have side characters come in there interesting and fulfill a purpose, not just service. And I think they'll be able to do this as well, with in particular to emphasize Ahsoka and Boba Fett. I don't think they'll overwash the rest of the cast and everything. We'll forget all about the Mandalorian and Din Djarin and the rest of them. So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, as far as Star Wars goes, Mando's it for right now. I mean, obviously we've got Squadrons. I've been enjoying Squadrons. I'm eventually going to reestablish my my PSN account so I can play online and play with people. Okay, that's wrong. Okay.
All right.
And
So
also silence.
So on that note, on that Star Wars note, we got to. I want to say, looking at where Disney Plus is going in comparison to, say, some of the other streaming services, HBO Max and Hulu and CBS All Access and all of that. Which streaming service, and this question's for the entire panel, do you guys think is going to have the edge going into 2021? Starting with you, Johnny.
I'm going with, for me personally, for what I want to watch, I'm going to go with Netflix, because they got Lock and Key coming back. They got Sandman starting up soon. They got Sweet Tooth, which is a comic book I love. They got the series for that starting soon. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Netflix. Like HBO Max, it's groovy, it's cool. I don't really watch too much on HBO. I like Lovecraft Country. If they do another Watchmen, I might watch that. But until they do the Snyder Cut shit, like I don't know what I'm going to watch on there. As for Disney Plus, whenever they finally do Moon Knight or bring Daredevil back, like I'll be excited for that. But like I'm not giving them any of my money yet.
On a Moon Knight note, how did you feel about the announcement of Oscar Isaac being in talks for the role of Moon Knight?
I'm really excited. I like when he plays insane characters. I became a fan of his with Sucker Punch when he played the character Blue. That is when I was like, oh my God, this guy has talent. So if he brings that kind of passion to Mark Spector, oh my God, that show is going to be lit. So yeah, I'm really excited that he will be Moon Knight. He's one of my favorite Marvel superheroes, one of my favorite superheroes in general. And Oscar Isaac is crazy enough to play the shit out of a crazy superhero.
Okay, and Carlos.
Yeah, Netflix is always like a clear front runner. They like pioneered the streaming game, but I'd have to say HBO Max for now, because I feel like Disney Plus is way too niche in their audience because they want to appeal. It's like that saying, when you want to appeal to everybody, you appeal to nobody. So
True.
so I feel like HBO Max has a stronger catalog that could attract the not so fantastical minded of us, and because I do like Disney Plus and I do like the catalog, Star Wars and Marvel and all of the animation, but it does get old pretty fast. So and we all know, like, after Mandalorian season 1 ended, there was a huge dip in subscriptions. Yep. People canceled subscriptions. My money's on HBO Max for now. I have to wait and see until they Disney Plus introduces their Marvel original shows. And I did hear, on like a week back, Grace Randolph said how Disney Plus is in talks of adding an adult or a mature rated section, so any of the properties that aren't considered family friendly can be on that section, and every time you want to go to that section, you'd have to enter a passcode or something.
Code.
Yeah,
wow. Chip and stuff like straight out of the 90s. You got to get your parents' password to watch the R-rated movies on the black box. Yeah, good times.
So I don't like, so if they do fully go head first, and Disney Plus does that, and they introduce if they buy back the Netflix shows and put that on there, if they put Blade and Deadpool and any other of subsidiary Disney companies that have R-rated content, Disney can probably overtake HBO Max, but until then, I don't think much is riding on it.
They completely own Alien, Predator, Conan, all these properties now. They're running their comics at Marvel. So maybe Marvel, they might need to start thinking about doing shows for that, because if they do a good Conan show, like with some Mandalorian money and actors behind it, people will get all over that. I'm pretty sure they would.
I know I would, yeah.
Okay, and Ambassador, which streaming service are you most excited for going into 2021?
Well, to put this succinctly, Netflix is dead to me. I will have nothing to do with them. But that being said, I think HBO Max has got a lot more strength than some other streaming services have. They have a much broader catalog, as Juan Carlos already mentioned. I love the catalog of stuff that is on HBO Max because I am a fan of cinema and everything. I love the fact that they made that deal with Turner Classic Movies, and they've got all the old stuff on there, the old black and white movies that I love. You've got the DC content, obviously, which again appeals to the comic book geek in me. They've got a good catalog of just original content. I mean, obviously, Raised by Wolves. I think I'm gonna go back and binge that and everything at some point, and maybe do a follow-up review and everything. I mean, me and Dawson did our reviews of it and everything, but I want to give it another go. I haven't checked out Lovecraft Country, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I want to check that out. They just recently had another one coming up. Called The Undoing, with I think it was Hugh Grant and dang it, I know the actress. I can see her face. I hate this, but regardless, but honestly, for me, it's HBO Max all the way, and I'll leave some space for Disney Plus, but they're going to have to, as everybody else has said, broaden their game, because right now they're appealing primarily to families and to kids, and there's nothing wrong with that per se, but they need to get some more, not adult as in X-ray, but adult content in there that
more
appeals
mature
to a much broader fan base.
Yeah, more mature.
Yes, more mature content.
Okay, and
if they do that,
and Zever Fett,
Yo,
Ryan, what streaming service are you most excited for going into 2021? As you get dinner. Yes. Oh my God, you've christened the ZodWriter Show, man. It wouldn't be a live stream with you, brother, if you didn't have dinner in the middle of a stream. I have to say,
I love it.
it's awesome.
Who do I think is going to win the streaming wars in 2021?
Well, what are you most excited for going? What streaming service are you most excited for going into 2021?
I mean, what I watch now is I watch a lot of Netflix and Amazon. I don't really do too much with HBO because there's not much that I do. I don't know. I mean, what I'm excited for on HBO is Green Lantern and Batfleck, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Those are the 3 titles that I can say that I'm excited about.
Okay.
I can't think of any titles on any other streaming platform that really stand out to me. There's nothing on Disney. I mean, Mandalorian is going to come out this year, so next year, what do they got?
WandaVision.
WandaVision in season 3 of Mandalorian, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's all I hear
They might have
about.
season 3. It just depends on if we're going to have any more of Pedro Pascal in it. With golly, they don't really have much. Just Winter Soldier and the Hawk dude or whatever. Falcon. Yeah, I mean, that's the only. I mean,
and the Hawk
only
dude.
thing I care about. I mean, I swear, dude. If HBO Max like doubled down, did like a Blue Beetle and did some other ancillary characters, Booster Gold, yeah, dude. That'd be amazing.
That would be so dope.
I mean, it would be the end. It would be the end of everyone else. Because I mean, we're so we're starving for this type of content, and if they're really willing to put all this money into these projects, and the Peacemaker, I want to watch that. Even though I haven't seen the Suicide Squad, I would be interested in if they are that confident with this thing. I'd like to see it. Yeah, every scene I'm eating or drinking something. So yeah, I mean HBO Max I guess would be my take. So but I mean I don't pay for anything.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think HBO Max I personally enjoy HBO Max, but I find myself gravitating a lot more towards Amazon Prime than all the other ones because I love, The Boys. They have a lot of high quality. They have a lot of high quality content on
other than The Boys, man. What else? Because I mean, I have Amazon Prime.
I liked Man in the High Castle. I enjoyed
their Blade of the Immortal anime is sick. The new Blade of the Immortal anime they got on Amazon Prime is amazing.
Yeah, they've got a lot.
If you like brutal samurai stuff, watch that. That's
but
for quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just had to say I've got to bounce, but I've got work in the morning. But guys, always a pleasure, and Zod, congratulations, and the sky's the limit.
Great meeting you, man.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
It was great.
All
It was
right,
great having you guys on here. Ryan's got to dip out too. So you guys, thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, man. Congratulations on your channel,
You're
man.
very welcome.
You'll beat Nicotina in no time.
Well, the thing for me is going to be hosting For Nerds. Joining you guys and hosting those episodes. So I figure like probably next week,
Yeah, we'll work you into the rotation. Maybe we'll have you. Maybe what we can do is have you co-host, give you the access to the files, and we'll talk about it later. But yeah, I have an idea what we can do.
All right, man. Cool. All right, I'll check.
All right, guys.
Waterboard them.
Yeah, I know, right? Later,
Waterboard them.
Later, everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel, Ambassador, ThatOneCarlos, Johnny, Alpha. It's great to talk to you guys again, and I'll catch you next time.
Catch you guys later. All right.
Peace out, guys. Y'all have a great night, and I'll be in touch.
Cool meeting you, man. Take it easy. One thing they forgot to mention, doesn't HBO Max also have the entire Criterion collection, right? Like available to stream?
Well, they're starting. It's little by little. They're not throwing it all out there, but they do have Turner Classic Movies.
They're also with Crunchyroll and Studio Ghibli. So
Oh, sweet.
yeah, for anime people that want to watch anime, they got that. What I was gonna say was that beyond original content, which is extremely important when looking at these services, like for Amazon Prime, like I got Amazon Prime like because I was a student and it was very cheap. It's very cheap for the free shipping. But also, like The Boys and stuff like that. But there comes a point where, you're not just having the streaming service for the originals. There comes a point where you watched all that, and then what is the longevity of that streaming service in their back catalog? And at least with Netflix, it doesn't really satisfy, my interests because, I guess I'm not into the dramas or anything that they have. But HBO Max does have a little bit of everything, and actually a lot of everything. So that was one thing that seriously piqued my interest when they first announced it. I do love all the classics. I do like the anime. Then they have full series all of Harry Potter, and
well, they did have Harry Potter, but they lost Harry Potter to Peacock. Peacock now has Harry Potter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, there's Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean it's there though. They're decent movies, and as well as everything else. Oh, I was gonna Godzilla. I was gonna say Godzilla and I guess the MonsterVerse. I hope they port everything, not just King of the Monsters, but also King Kong and Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, that definitely.
Do they have the original Toho Godzilla films up on there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I gotta check. I believe they do though.
They've got a good selection of them.
Well, I have a good selection on DVD myself, but if I could just stream them, that would be easy too, man. Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, that's one of the things that's great about having so many options with streaming is you can leave your discs on the shelf.
Well, I mean, the thing is I move around for work, so I don't have my DVDs with me. So if I can watch my Godzilla movies that I can't drag around with me around the country, that would be so excellent because I hate not being able to watch them.
So I'm looking at it right now. They have 10 right now in the catalog. They got King of the Monsters, but they also got Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Mothra versus Godzilla, Son of Godzilla, Godzilla Raids Again, Godzilla versus Megalon, Gigan, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, those are the good ones too, like the real classics.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So yeah, HBO Max, it's the way to go.
Yeah, you got so much selection. So there's something for everybody on HBO Max. Have you ever played Justice League Heroes? You're talking about the old PlayStation game, Justice League Heroes? You guys know what that game is, Justice League Heroes?
No.
I'm thinking of an old PlayStation 2 game. Yeah, Justice League Heroes.
Was that the? I don't think it's a similar one, but
is that a mobile game?
I'm not sure, but I do remember a Justice League game that was a top-down view, and it was a 2-player co-op.
Yeah, there was a PlayStation 2 a game. Justice League game. I vaguely remember playing it several years ago.
Oh yeah, I played Justice League Heroes. Yeah, this was such an awesome game.
Is that what it was? The PlayStation 2 game?
Yeah. So yeah, it's top down. It could be 2-player co-op, and you could choose between the heroes Zatanna, Martian Manhunter.
Oh yeah.
Batman.
I remember that game now. Yeah. You said
so it's
you said Zatanna and it
I know she because she would she's the only character that's there that's not playable in any other game.
So it's kind of like X-Men Legends, but the DC version.
Yeah, and
Kinda, yeah. That's actually a pretty good way of describing it.
speaking of DC games, like also like I think Injustice 3 is in the works.
Yes.
At least with
it was just hinted at, I think, by Ed Boon.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that, and I'm really excited for the crossover capabilities because they're like at least for MK, they're the masters at that. They've been doing a lot of the horror for MK for Mortal Kombat, and with DC, they're doing a lot of the comic book characters. So I'd love to see they had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I'd love to see like Power Rangers.
Oh yeah. Injustice had so much, and Injustice had so many different.
That's the last PC game I played.
Yeah.
I saw some lists of like who'd be the best. Like definitely like maybe somebody from Watchmen or He-Man or Judge Dredd. Like there's lots of potential for guest characters in that.
Well, the DLC, I get to play as Hellboy. Like, I could actually like beat the hell out of the Joker as Hellboy, and as a Hellboy fan, like a huge Dark Horse fan, it's amazing to be able to beat the shit out of DC characters as Hellboy.
Are you guys excited for Rambo coming to Mortal Kombat 11? I saw the trailer with Rambo the other day, and I was like, oh my god, that looks awesome.
I like Rambo was before my time. But I am really excited for that. I love the like I said, I love the classic, movie, classic action heroes and stuff like that they're bringing in, especially with these big names like Stallone. And it was an impersonator of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's his likeness nonetheless.
Yeah, they actually got Stallone to come in and dub for Rambo though, so that's
which era films Rambo is it, Zod?
It's he's the Rambo. He looks like the Rambo from the earlier movies.
Yeah, I think he's
probably
like
2 or 3 without the shirt and the bandana.
Yeah,
I think it'd be 2 or 3.
Yeah, and his fatality that they showed in the trailer was from Rambo
4.
Ripped the guy's throat out. So
sick, yeah.
So I honestly, it looks awesome. I'm super excited. And speaking of ripping throats out and heads exploding and all kinds of things, Johnny, we have to talk a little bit about the fact that Viz has finally given us what we wanted. They are going to release Fist of the North Star, the manga, in full color hardcover form next year, next summer. Oh my God, June 15th to be exact is the release date of the first, according to Amazon, of the first book. Now, Fist of the North Star might have been a little bit before your time as well, Carlos, but I have to tell you, for me and Johnny here, and for myself personally, Fist of the North Star is one of my all-time favorite Japanese properties of all time. I mean, I would have to say, as far as anime characters and anime goes, it's probably my number one for me. There's nothing better. And
Carlos, you like Mad Max? You like Bruce Lee? Do you like Mad Max and do you like Bruce Lee?
Yeah, I do.
Then you'll love Fist of the North Star.
Then you'll love Fist of the North Star because it's Bruce Lee as Mad Max. Basically, he wanders around and he finds people that are shitheads, and then, dude, you're already dead. And he does these cool ass moves, and it gets gory as hell. Like these people, they all contort and their heads get all crazy and melon shaped and just explode all over the place.
I do know a bit about that. Like I did watch like some videos like explaining that, and then I of course like the casual I am, I did watch Screw Attack's Death Battle with the main character from that series.
Kinshiro.
Yeah, so I do know about that, and it's like a desolate wasteland. So I just never got around to watching it because I don't know any platform that has that.
I had to buy the Blu-rays because Zod told me about it. Only the first 70 episodes are dubbed. You don't want to watch the dubs anyways. They're really bad. They're early 80s dubs. So like the voice acting is the English voice acting is
The
horrendous.
English voice acting is great. If you pick up the movie,
the movie's great.
The movie, the voice acting is like, you said you love classic movies. The voice acting is like classic, like film noir type voice acting. So if you watch that cartoon, they all have these melodramatic film noir style tones and inflections, and it's fantastic. It's
no,
like,
Shan, I will never love you, Julia. You really have no choice. Now come along. Yeah, dude, it's like just so over the top but wonderful, man.
and it's just one of the most fantastic, like, sci-fi animes of all time. It has so much, it has so much in there for everybody, and it's so over the top violent that you can't take it seriously with the violence level, because the violence is so over the top. You're almost watching it, and you're like, they're taking, in the movie, they take the movie, so the characters take the content so serious, but the blood and gore is done in such a way that you're just like, how can they take it so seriously? But it works for this material. You will enjoy it. I highly recommend it.
I actually just found it for free on Tubi.
Oh, sweet.
Tubi TV. Yeah. So I can probably watch that like right after this.
Yeah, definitely watch it right after the show. I'll bring you back on next week to talk about it, to get your review. Can we do that? Would you be interested in that?
Totally.
Okay, well then what we'll do next week, Johnny, is we'll do a Fist of the North Star episode next week.
Okay, pay attention to the music, man, because I'm going to ask you about how you feel about the music, because I absolutely love the music in the show, man.
Oh my
the theme song is so wonderful. And the same thing for the film, man. Heart of Darkness, or Feeling My Love, Feeling My Loneliness.
Heart of Madness.
I love that song so much. Heart of Madness, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Some of the best anime music you will ever hear in the Fist of the North Star.
Oh my god! And the score for the music in like the TV animated series and the movie, as far as like scores go, the score is incredible. It's like so haunting and well put together. It's some of the and it's so memorable. Like you'll be like, wow, it's fascinating, really is. But Johnny, the idea that the manga is getting an actual like first party release, I think that's
it's nice that it's happening. It would have been wonderful if it happened before I was 40, but it's phenomenal that it is coming out. Well, it's just messed up because it's such a progenitor. It's such like it's a piece of history. It's right there with Akira and Dororo and all that stuff that Tezuko and Otomo did. You know what I mean? And it just never got released over here, and it's tragic. Not in full. They did start it a few times. Like you gave me those 2 books that you had, Zod, of the old run, but like. Yeah, it's insane to me that book has never like ran completely in English, and
it only ran completely in English, and I got the ebook one on my shelf right now, which is this super expensive tablet like thing where you open it up and it lets you turn the pages by pressing buttons, and you got to put batteries in this thing, but the artwork looks absolutely beautiful, and it's the entire manga, everything all in like one volume. But it's a super weird and rare way to have it. Like it's incredible. I mean, it costs so much money that it's just, to me, I just feel like for it to finally be getting an official release where it's actually going to get treated with some respect, I'm super stoked.
Yeah, it's like, how many billions of Gundam series have we gotten released over here? Like One Piece, how many books for One Piece and Naruto are there?
And Dragon Ball. Let's talk about how many Dragon Ball books there have been. I mean,
And it's like, and it's taken this long to get Fist published over here. I mean, come on, that's a tragedy, man. That's something the Greeks would have wrote about. And I think Zod died.
No, I didn't die. I didn't die. I didn't die. My camera fell, but that's fine because I'm gonna pick up my camera and I'm going to pull down the ebook 1 off of my shelf and show you guys a little bit of this weird technology that I can't even believe was ever released. This is weird.
Well, it definitely sounds Japanese. You know what I mean? You know that's like legit from over there, just from the principle of the thing. You know,
right?
How it works.
See your shirt, Zod. Nice shirt.
Oh yeah, this is the Snyder, the associate producer.
I actually got one of the free ones, but they totally ignored the size I chose and gave me a large, and it's not big enough.
Because you chose an extra large, right?
I did, and then
I did as well. This is it right here. This is the Fist of the North Star ebook 1. This is the most expensive manga I ever purchased in my entire life. And what it is you open it up and you can turn the pages by pressing the buttons, and the artwork looks incredible. It's black and white. They scanned the original manga artwork from the creators to actually get the artwork as pristine and beautiful as possible. I mean, it's a wonderful piece. It's just extremely niche. It's something that will never get like in the United States, like officially as a like this was from Japan, and the big selling point is it's the first you can switch between Japanese and English, which is something that's really, really bizarre in and of itself, to have like 2 language options on a manga.
Prove how big of a weeb you really are. If you can actually read it in Japanese, you are the king.
Right. But the artwork is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful book. It has it's the complete manga, and it's not an actual book. It's a tablet with pages, with paper in the back that they put here to give it this authentic book feel. And to me, I don't understand why they just didn't do like a super oversized like omnibus. Like that would have been better to just do it as an omnibus, but because this technology just is so limiting, because it's not going to be available everywhere. And I guarantee you something like this would never take off in the US, because we're all about, you can get your manga, you can download your manga on like a tablet or a phone if you want to read it digitally, or you can buy it physically. So what would be the point of something like this, where it's essentially a tablet inside of, it's like a double-sided, it's like a 2-page tablet. But I don't know. But if it wasn't for Fist of the North Star, I would have been completely out. There would have been no interest in it for me at all. I don't know. What do you think, Johnny?
I tell you what, if they do one for Berserk, I'd get that, because like I've been trying to collect that, and like
they've got one for Berserk, but it's not. They've got one for Berserk, but it's not dual language like Fist of the North Star.
And Berserk's still running. I'd want to get it when it's finally over and have the whole thing, because that thing's, he says he's only about half done, so that thing's going to end up being like 140 books long. So you're going to want something like small and compact like that to read a series like that. But
well, see, in a lot of ways that's good, because Fist of the North Star has been completed. This is the complete volume, but the idea that they're just now getting around to officially westernizing it and releasing it like this, and the positives of that. Another positive of that is that it's going to be full color. So I think
Yeah.
in that regard,
That's weird, actually,
be
to tell you the
something different.
truth. Being in full color is a little weird. I mean, just saying. Like I'm so used to the first couple pages being in color and then it going black and white because that's how manga's always been.
Right. All right. Well, thank you, Sickness. I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for your support. I love that. Thank you, sir. And we are coming up at the 2-hour mark here, which is kind of where I wanted to end the show anyway, since we are hemorrhaging viewers at this point. So I want to thank you, Carlos, for being here. I appreciate it for you joining the panel and being here for the whole time. And you, Johnny, you're always welcome on the ZodWriter Show. It's always a pleasure to have you here. It was just a little bit fun to kind of geek out about Fist of the North Star for the last few minutes of the show. So,
right.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll definitely be back. I plan to be doing another episode of ZodWriter Live from the Couch on this coming Sunday. So I'll be doing that. And then of course there will be another, ZodWriter show like this, I believe next week. I think I'm going to do another one like this next week. I'm not sure. And then within a week or two, maybe hosting some 4 Nerds episodes. So we'll see what happens. But definitely good night, everyone.